Man, but let's slide on here. Let's talk about Xbox, man. Again, some more rumors here about where Xbox might be heading next. We're thinking amidst a time where people have been saying Xbox changes their plans like every damn week and nobody knows what's going on anymore. There's been some reports from a couple of sources, but namely here, Windows Central, that the next generation of Xbox may include a traditional style console and a potential Steam Deck like handheld. There might be some way to, you know, really have their first foray into handheld gaming in addition to their traditional console experience for the next generation on. Timmy, how you feel about this one?
I don't care. I'll be so real, I don't care. And I'll tell you why I don't care. Xbox, since the release of the Xbox Series S, Series X, Xbox have been disappointing in terms of the games they're releasing. Their first party games, their Xbox exclusives have not been up to the standard that I was expecting on release. They haven't been up to par with PlayStation. Don't get me wrong, PlayStation's first party releases and exclusives have not been
up to their standard either. Everybody
phenomenal outstanding. They've been like it's been a kind of weird middle ground with them. But Xbox have not been delivering at all. We are 4 years deep now, 4 years deep into the release of like the new gen, and there is not an Xbox title that I can think of that gets me excited. That they like since 2020 to 2024, there's not been an Xbox title that I can think of that I've been excited for, or that has really blown me out of the way and say like, oh yeah, they're really here to commit to next gen gaming. People might say, oh, well, Timmy, what about Forza? I'm like, no.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I listen again. I respect Forza, but like, who really checking for Forza to be like the groundbreaking? Come on, dog.
What have Xbox given us that's shaking the freaking table, bro? Nothing. Let's be real, nothing. And that's disappointing because before that they were making some great games. Give us Sunset Overdrive 2, Xbox.
Facts.
Give us Sunset Overdrive 2, black.
He's spitting.
That's one of your best games. One of your best freaking games, and you man let that shit just die in the background, bro. Give us Sunset Overdrive 2, man.
I don't even do as usually, bro. We need the flex bomb. We need the flex bomb for that. We need the flex bomb for that. We need the flex bomb. The real truth is there.
Okay, like you dropped a new Gears, you dropped a new Halo, that was shit. You dropped new Gears, that was shit. Halo, Fable 5 is Fable 4, Fable 5. Fable 4 was coming out, right? Don't get me wrong, kind of excited for that. But like, what else have you got in the pipeline? Because you're relying heavily on third-party games that we can. Because any game that I can play on my Xbox and my PlayStation, I'm playing it on my PlayStation. Personally, I'm not looking to play it on my Xbox. Xbox needs to deliver better games from their first-party devs that are gonna excite people, and they're not doing that, man. And it's really sad to see.
I agree.
It's really sad.
I tend to agree. They're setting up a lot of good stuff, but it's like, yo, you're setting up a lot of stuff, but where's a spike? If you know what I'm saying, you said a lot of shit. I'm gonna go volleyball terms. Where's the spike? Where's the finish? Where's the follow through with all this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, again, Starfield, underwhelmed. Hopefully it's on its way back. I know the Shattered Space DLC dropped today as of recording. I hope that's a way for them to drop better stuff as we go along. Again, Fable's waiting in the wings. Avowed's waiting in the wings. Like State of Decay 3, Outer Worlds 2, Elder Scrolls 6. There's things waiting in the wings, but the actual stuff, you know. And again, this is what we've talked about on this podcast a lot. Like their approach is different, but their approach is I think is viable in this game, in this day and age. Like their strategy to try and win and get some legwork in this race that they're in to try and get more market share, be a bit more prominent in the world. But when it comes down to it, people play games to play games. It's about the games. They know it. We all know it. And it's just up to them to deliver that shit. It doesn't, like, again, that's why PlayStation get away with half of the shit that they do, because they can come out in the next 2 years with the Spider-Man game, with Spider-Man 3, or the next whatever game that they got, you know what I'm saying, that Insomniac is cooking up. And they're like, oh yeah, we got this, bro, and it's gonna sell like hotcakes, because it is. I just think they've done themselves a disservice with how certain things have gone. Again, there's a lot of reshuffling things that they have to do. I get it, but yeah, bottom line, I do agree with you on that front. The games, the bottom line of this, the games, they have to deliver, whether they're in this generation or going into the next generation.
Yeah, there's no point in saying, oh, it's releasing a handheld, releasing this, da-da-da. If the games aren't there, what's the point? You're just creating tech for the sake of creating tech. Where are your games, bro? Where are your games?
Facts, man. I agree. And again, it's like, I can sit up here and say, oh yeah, honestly, my honest gut reaction opinion of this, I think it's smart because everybody's gonna be fighting on that handheld front. Again, the Steam Deck proved it. Everybody's gonna be fighting there, and I think it's gonna be a tough battle because once Nintendo drops the next generation console, it's kind of wraps for everybody. Because if they get an earshot of this generation console quality, it's just a wrap for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I think you could just pack it up, except for maybe some of the Steam Deck people. Like y'all might have some staying because y'all been here the most, but everybody else go home. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? PlayStation could have been in on this, but they dumbass don't want to support no damn handhelds, whatever.
Now see, I might be a bit controversial, but I like the fact, and I hope this says this way, I like the fact that PlayStation aren't committed to making a brand new handheld device.
I hear it. Explain.
Because I feel like when the PSP came out, the PSP had a good run. It did what it needed to do. It gave us games that we could play on the go, PlayStation games, PlayStation titles that we love. I don't feel like they need to necessarily bring it back.
Listen, I just want payback for the Vita. They shagged me on the Vita, but that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's why I got beef.
Don't get me wrong. If they do, I'll buy it. I'm the person like to buy it, but I don't feel like it's such a necessity right now.
They don't have to. They have no incentive to, and they don't need to because they dominate console gaming, you know. And that's just their space in the area, and they can focus on the things that they need to work on, which I don't think is that much. It's just, again, the first party shooter problem, which is that's going to continue to ail them for like thousands of years probably, but still it's like one of the few problems that they have, because everywhere else they got it down packed. Like, it's just like how Nintendo, they've dominated games so much in their development process, their creativity, what they put behind their lineups is really good, but then their online services, well, how their console actually like functions outside of just pure graphical power, blah blah blah, it's kind of terrible. It's not good. So they have their slight things to do, but again, they have games. They have games they can bank on at the end of the day and say, yo, Nintendo, we got our games, we got our shit. PlayStation, we got our shit. We don't got to do anything. Xbox is like, damn, we kind of got a couple things cooking, but wait, to get back to us, like, we can't. I hear you.
If Xbox aren't careful, the console war is going to shift, and it's not going to be Xbox versus PlayStation no more. It's going to be PlayStation versus Nintendo. And if that happens, Xbox are going to be in trouble. Xbox are going to be in serious trouble, to the point where, God forbid this happens, but if there ends up being a shift in the console war, quote unquote, Xbox might have to end up being bought out either by Nintendo or by PlayStation.
Yeah, they might honestly downsize and be a third-party publisher. I think is the most likely outcome if shit fucks up.
They're already putting Xbox games on other consoles, aren't they?
Yeah, they already are. Which is like, from a business standpoint, I understand you're a huge company, and by and large, you are a publisher for many things. So I get putting your things on other consoles, but like, you're doing all these things that I think are smart. But when it comes down to it, you're still failing because your first party is still like 10 steps behind. And it's like, that's the bottom line of all this shit. Again, I can talk about how smart this handheld move is. I can talk about, again, everybody's making a run for it and stuff. So why not you guys put your shit on there? But if your shit doesn't have any compelling game lineup to put on that handheld in you know what I'm saying, in addition to the main console, what is the point of me picking up your console? What is the point of that? Unless you have some games that are compelling enough to say, yo, I need that over a PlayStation, I need that over a this, I need that over a that, then what's the point? Again, this is the thing that has ailed this console generation very, very badly, and I think this console generation has been one of the worst, if not the worst, with this. Getting games to substantiate this life cycle of a console, getting games to say, yo, this is worth the buy. All these games are worth the buy. We maybe have a PlayStation maybe 4 or 5. You know what I'm saying? They're like, absolutely, this is a console seller. This is one of these things that I gotta have. You know, for Xbox side, maybe even less than that because of how these games have turned out with certain blah blah blahs. And again, their strategy with putting things on PC and dropping other things there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always down to what games you bring to that platform. So as much as they talk and may develop and dabble with a handheld on top of that, if I don't see no breakout shit, if I don't have undeniable proof that y'all are cooking up crack with, like, oh, the next Gears, the next blah blah blah, the next, you know what I'm saying, whatever game that you're dropping, then what's the point? You gotta show up and prove. Gotta show up and prove. You know?
Especially off the Redfall. Oh my god.
Oh my, yo. I forgot about that game entirely, bro. I forgot about that game. It will piss me off too. That game dropped like a day before my birthday, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna treat myself to a new game. And I always have this like favoritism towards things that drop around my birthday, whether it be movies, TV shows, or whatever. I'm like, let me go cop that. Let me see what's going on with that, bro. Turn it on. 5 minutes. I turned that shit off, bro. I was like, bro, I couldn't do it. My friend tried to get me to play it again. I played it some more, and I was like, nah, there's no way. There's no way this thing exists. It's just bad. But again, I have hope for Xbox because I think they should understand this by now more than we all do, that they have to prove with their first party that they have quality that garners first party support, first console support. You know what I'm saying? We need to buy an Xbox for this shit. We need to get involved with their ecosystem for this shit. I see, you know what I'm saying, again, whatever Gears is next, the games I just mentioned a little bit beforehand. What's it called? Oh my gosh, I am losing my mind. What is... No, not Halo. There's another game that I'm absolutely looking forward to that's coming from their first party. Oh, Perfect Dark. Thank you. Perfect Dark Remake. Thank you. Okay. That game I'm absolutely fucking excited for because I love Perfect Dark. But you have things that are potential, but now it is time for you to stick the landing, not on console formats, not on teraflops, sticking the landing on these games. That's it. If you have great games, you can substantiate whatever bullshit y'all do next. That's really it. Because Sony and Nintendo been doing that for years. They've been doing that for years. It's your turn to start doing that.
Listen, as long as Nintendo keeps making Zelda games,
bro,
Pokemon games, Mario games, they're calm. They don't have to talk about nothing.
They have not given a shit about their online services for the past 12 years. They do not care about online. They don't care about any of their online play, Ethernet cables, and all that business. They don't care. They're like, what's that? Man, cut that shit out, bro. Take this Echoes of Wisdom, hold that Zelda game real quick, and everybody's fine. You know what I mean? Like it's just how they roll because they've built that credit in the bank. They've built that leeway, whether we like it or not. I want them to improve everything, but they have that leeway because of the games they drop, because that's core tenet number one. That is the pillar in the middle of the building that holds everything up the strongest. And if you don't have that, the foundations look muddy. So just gotta go from there, man. Just gotta go from there. We'll see what their plans may look like in the future. Xbox. We'll see what your plans look like.